Hi, let's talk about psychology and creativity, and it's in particular Carl Rogers and Abraham Maslow. Okay, we're going to start with Carl Rogers, and in his book on becoming a person, he talks about a fully functioning person. And I think what has amazed me as I've looked at these famous psychologists is that they haven't created just theories of psychology, but they've created theories of creativity. And follow along with me and see if you can see or agree. In fact, he says there are 5 conditions. Carl Rogers says 5 conditions for creativity to flourish. And by creativity to flourish, he means becoming a fully functioning person. And those are his words if you read them. And I was surprised that creativity was a mark of a fully functioning person. But we're going to talk about these conditions, not just because they're related to creativity, but I want you to think about how they relate to you as teachers and to our classrooms. So Carl Rogers starts with inner conditions, 3 inner conditions. One of them is an openness to experience. So it's exactly what it sounds like. We need to be willing to have new experiences, willing to try new things. And just being open in our attitude and our mind. Another one, the second one, is we need an internal locus of evaluation. Now I know evaluation and creativity, a lot of people think it's such a negative thing, but it's not, and especially in terms of internally, okay? Internally, we need to be able to say with honesty, that we're good, that, oh yeah, that looks pretty good, that looks pretty great, oh yeah, I'm having fun, oh yeah, I'm happy right now. We don't do that. When we evaluate ourselves, we tend to always, oh, that's not as good as it should be. Why? That's not being honest. We need to be honest, all right? And we need to also, the internal locus of evaluation means that what we say about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, needs to be more important than what somebody else says about us. And it has to do, obviously, with self-esteem. And then we need to be able to toy with elements or concepts. What does that mean? Able to toy with elements or concepts. We need to be able to play with ideas. Okay, so we often think of the children's job is playing, but as adults we need to play with ideas also. We need to try putting things together backwards. We need to try doing things in different ways. Internally, we need to be able to not just be stuck in a certain pattern. And then he has 2 external conditions, and his external conditions, the first one, psychological safety, he divides down into 3 areas. One is, so we need to feel psychologically safe. How do we do that? To be creative, we need to feel psychologically safe. One is, we need to know that we have unconditional worth. It doesn't matter what that drawing looks like. It doesn't matter what the teacher says about that drawing. It doesn't matter anything. We have unconditional worth in and of ourselves. The second thing is that we need to be non-judgmental about other people, because then we will understand and accept that they're non-judgmental about us. So we need a non-judgmental environment. It doesn't mean that the teacher can't grade us. It doesn't mean the teacher can't give us, advice or criticism even. But it needs to be done in a way where I don't feel like you're judging me as a person, but maybe you're just, evaluating the product that I have. Okay? But we also need to be non-judgmental about other people. So we need people to be non-judgmental about us, and we need to be non-judgmental about others in order for our creativity to thrive. And then the third part of psychological safety is that we need to have empathy. We need to be able to relate to the way other people are feeling. And again, we need other people to be able to relate to how we feel. But we really need to be able to have some sense of feeling sad for other people when we should feel sad, feeling happy for other people when we should feel happy. All of those things relate to a psychological safety. And then the second part of external condition is psychological freedom, that we need to feel free to say and do and be whatever we want to be. Okay? And this area, especially the external conditions, is especially where Carl Rogers' theory influences the instructors. But I think actually in all those areas that we can provide in the classroom and in our teaching aspects a lot of the safety, a lot of the guidance, and help learners learn how to judge themselves, learn how to trust their own judgment, that kind of thing. I think there's a lot that as teachers we can do. And I'm going to go on to Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow has a hierarchy of needs, and this is his pyramid, and you can agree with it or not, all right? So his pyramid says that it starts with physiological needs are at the bottom, and then once those are met, then we can start worrying about our safety, personal safety, and then once those are met, then we can worry about love and belonging to others. And then once that's met, then we can worry about our self-esteem, and then finally, once all of those other needs are met, we reach self-actualization, which is the highest point in our human behavior, human psychology, according to Abraham Maslow. And I'm not sure if you can read it there, but one of the aspects of self-actualization, morality, and then creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, okay, lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts, creativity. I don't know why it surprises me to find that creativity is part of becoming the best person that you can be. Being creative is part of being the best person you can be. Granted, as teachers, some of this we don't have control over, but we do to a certain extent. What we do have control over, we really should, realize that we need to meet psychological needs, physiological safety, love, belonging, self-esteem. We need to meet those needs before we can really, truly allow students to become the best they can be, to become truly creative and free. So I've kind of sped through these. I hope you'll think about them, though, and focus on them, because they're theories of psychology, but they're theories of creativity as well. And what we do as teachers, what we do in the classroom, can have tremendous effect upon the psychology and creativity and ability for our students to become the best people that they can be. All right. Thank you.